Hello, dear students. I'm Anand from GHGC Ramnagara, Faculty of English. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the text and theme of first semester BA General English course of Bangalore University. The syllabus for the Bangalore University undergraduate course, that is BA, it aims to develop the literary sensibilities, communication skills, and humanitarian values and communication skills of the students across the semester. In this particular semester, the following components are there. There are poems, short stories, narratives, letters, and memoirs, supplemented by grammar components or language components. The selections for this BA semester course has been made keeping in mind the view of the students' competencies and life skills. The literary component has a weightage of 40 marks, and the grammar or language component has got weightage of 30 marks. The selections of these literary pieces address the issues of contemporary relevance, religious harmony, interpersonal relationships, and human values. Short stories, letter translations from Kannada, and even Polish find a place in the book. These expose students to different cultural nuances. The aim of the textbook and the components is to sensitize students to uh, different prevailing aspects of society and to improve their literary sensibilities, where students may easily identify themselves with a theme and characters and relate the situations to their own lives. The text offers scope for different perspectives through interactions in the classrooms. And now, I'm in particular dealing with the first session of the BA course, Introduction to the Syllabus, Texts and Themes of the Semester of Bangalore University, and the learning objectives, why we are learning the text and the components of first semester BA, to make the students to understand how the course would flow through the semester through the introduction to texts and themes. Ultimately, the aim of this session is to for students to get familiar with the text and theme. We have 8 pieces or 8 lessons, including the 2 poems and a letter form. The first part, that is literary component, consists of 8, as I told you. The first one is the poem by Vaidehi, translated by Pratibha Nandakumar. Don't look into the vanity bag. This poem gives an idea of the identity of women and womanhood, how it has been portrayed by the patriarchal society, and how a writer, Vaidehi, looks into the women's personae, how it is totally a different look at a woman's identity and womanhood, which is difficult to understand by men. So she gives a different picture of a woman and her different world and the emotions of women in this particular poem, and is eye opener for men not to look into the vanity bag in terms of women's emotions and the world, which is very complex to understand. The second poem, A Few Words on the Soul by Wisława Szymborska, a Polish writer, and this poem aims at giving a picture of soul in every human being, how it captures our attention and how it guides us in many activities, and how the role of concise plays an important role in making our personality and making our inner self. So, this is what a few words on the soul gives us an idea of the personality within us as a philosophical touch to our personality. The third text, that is the Acts. The Acts gives us an idea about the society in transition. Due to modernity and urbanization, our lives have been changed drastically. What kind of changes? The change in the attitude of human beings, how we are drawn towards the monetary considerations and materialistic life, away from the humanitarian concerns and the affinity with the nature. R.K. Narayan captures and touches our heart by sketching the character of a common man, Valen, a gardener, how things have got changed in his life, ultimately suffered by this modernization. Now, the fourth text is Our Teacher by Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. This short story gives us a picture of a teacher, a village school teacher, the problem he faces in the classrooms, and agony he has got in his life, the struggles he has to face in his personal life, and balance the situations in the classroom with the mischievous students. And a pathetic condition of a schoolmaster has been depicted in this short story. And the next one is After 20 Years. Again, it is a wonderful short story by O. Henry, which deals with the theme of friendship, how the friends, with all the fortunes to look for, depart from each other to different parts of the world, stay there, and after 20 years meet with a different personality altogether. By then, lot many changes have happened in their lives. In spite of the changes happen in the lives of Bob and the other friend, and still the policeman accepts his friend being thief after 20 years, and he couldn't arrest him as the government asked him to do so. And at the end of the story, he balances his commitment to the work as well as respecting the friendship with his friend. So this is After 20 Years by O. Henry. The next one is The Day My World Changed by Malala Yousaf. In the context of fundamentalism, a conservatism, the situation of girl child is very difficult. That too in terms of getting education. So she was targeted by the fundamentalists in Pakistan, where she was attacked and fired. And by then, her revolutionary views to get education for all, in particular for a girl child, made her to resolution to struggle for girls' education, and her achievements have been considered for the Nobel Prize for Peace in 2016. And the next one is Three Great Hearts Resolve a Problem. The Three Greats Resolve a Problem by Abdul Kalam gives us a picture of highlighting one of the themes of our textbook selections, that is religious harmony, and to counter many kind of violence and struggles in the society based on religions and caste, creed, clashes or conflicts. And here Abdul Kalam gives a situation of his classroom, a kind of conflict arises in the classroom where the teacher, a new teacher, differentiates him with the other classmates of Kalam. wherein discrimination is based or made on the basis of caste, which was brought to the three persons of the society, where the three persons belong to different religions, put together or gathered for discussing how to resolve it. One of the persons is Abdul Kalam's father, being uh, head of the mosque. So he tries to resolve a problem, and this paves the way for Kalam's harmonious, contented life in Rameshwaram. And also, this background leads him to become a great person in his life. The last one, a letter from her father by Prakash Padukone. So, this is the form of a letter which is addressed to two daughters of Prakash Padukone. So, one among them is Deepika Padukone, a well known actress in Bollywood. The letter consists of the advice, the tension that the parents have towards the future of the children and how to overcome it. And it is an advice, a piece of advice by Padukone to the girls to achieve whatever they have dreamt of, facing all the struggles, all the challenges of life, to balance the unsuccessful situations or pitfalls as well as the success as same together, balancing success and failure, and to make one's life a successful, contented to achieve whatever one can. This is the essence of a letter from her father. That brings the first part, a literary component, to an end. The second component, part of the component of the textbook, is language component. In that, the first one, I'll just brief it so that every aspect of this grammar component is discussed in detail in the subsequent sessions. Diminutives are the smaller part of the bigger things, like the offsprings, a particle, so of anything. So lion, cub, ring, ringlet. So book, booklet, eagle, eaglet, a smaller part of a larger whole. So it is discussed in detail in the subsequent sessions. Second one here is punctuation. Punctuation, that has come from Latin word puncture, that is pause. As we speak with lots of pauses and stops to make our utterances meaningful, we have to use punctuation marks to make our writing meaningful. Hence, we study punctuation. The articles, modifiers in a sentence, play a role to complete the sentences and make them meaningful. There are two kinds of articles, definite and indefinite, will be discussed at length in the next coming session. One word substitution. It's a part of vocabulary building. A big sentences or a group of words are replaced by a one word. Prepositions. Prepositions are relationary word which relates a noun with the other parts of the sentences. Then antonyms and synonyms. Again, they are studied or practiced as a part of vocabulary building. Antonyms are the words in opposite meaning, and synonyms nearly same or the same meaning of a given word. Then question tags. Question tags are the forms of questions to confirm what has one said about. So it is confirmation questions used in a tag form. Then a novel or innovative concept or a task in this text is picture description. A picture description has to be done by the student with the clues given for you. Based on the picture, appeal of the picture or components of the picture. Based on that, one has to explain, describe it in a few sentences. Then, one of the important language components is tense form, a voice of the verb to indicate different time references. The next component is WH questions. Again, this is one of the types of question forms which play important role in interrogative sentences. The last under this is translation. Again, it is something new for our students, wherein translation cannot be asked in examination considering different language based students. It is a practice session in the classes as a part of internal assessment. And I already talked about themes discussed. Just I'll glance it for the sake of consolidating the themes of the text what we are going to study in this semester based on the individual texts what we have to deal with. The womanhood and identity of women from the first poem, the inner dimension of our personality linked by the soul and the concise. The third, society in the state of transition due to modernization and urbanization by in the lesson acts. The condition of a teacher, a classroom, and the learning atmosphere in the lesson, our teacher. Balancing the commitment to friendship and work in the lesson, a short story to after 20 years, role of youngsters in preventing terrorism and other forms of violence, as well as struggling for the universal education, particularly for the girl child. In the lesson prologue, The Day My World Changed by Malala Yousaf. The next theme, need of religious harmony and peace in our multicultural society, that has been depicted by the experiences of Abdul Kalam in the lesson Three Great Hearts Resolve a Problem. The last text, that is a letter to daughter, determination in one's life and how to achieve it, has been addressed by Prakash Padukone to his daughters, one of the encouraging and motivating letter to his daughters. And we have also the MCQs to test you whatever we have heard so far. So here, the author of Don't Look into the Vanity Bag is dash. So it is evident from whatever we have discussed. It is a well-known Kannada writer, Vaidehi. The second question here is, one of the themes discussed in this semester is, so already we have marked with the themes discussed in this semester, out of which is correct one here. In environmental protection, it is not discussed. Need of peace and harmony in the multicultural society, yes, it is discussed. Patriarchy, it is discussed but not explicitly discussed in the first poem. Gender discrimination is not discussed here. So the answer evidently is need of peace and harmony in the multicultural society, that is depicted in Three Great Hearts Resolve a Problem. The last MCQ here, one of the language components discussed in the semester is verbs, adverbs, diminutives, and phrases. It is diminutives. So it is evident as one of the important language components of this semester. And for this, I suggest whatever we have dealt with as an introduction to the text and themes are evident in the textbook prescribed by the Bangalore University for first semester BA, that is Illuminations 1. That can be a reference book. Also, the study materials are available, extra readings and suggested readings are available, which have been listed in the textbook itself. That ends the first session for you here. Thank you.